Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tousi TV, your global news channel. We have some breaking news coming from Minneapolis as over the last hour this morning we've had an attack at a Catholic church which is also home to a K-8 school with a number of casualties including children who were attending their morning mass. We are getting more information. We're going to bring you guys the live footage. We have the live camera on the ground outside the church in Minneapolis. We are just getting ready for that. The actual live coverage of the details, including the latest statement from the FBI. We're going to bring you guys all this, of course, and some videos we have from just after the attack happened. We are trying to also get more information about the identity of the suspect. But the mass shooting has resulted in, this is the second one in 2 days in Minneapolis. First things first, let's start with what we know. Active shooter was reported and confirmed about, well, earlier this morning, 2 hours ago, with multiple casualties at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As I said, this is a home to a K-8 school, and a number of children were attending the mass. Agents from the FBI have arrived at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis. We do have the latest update on the number of people who have unfortunately been killed. So far, the confirmed number is now 3. It was 2 a few minutes ago. It's now 3 people who've now been confirmed killed, and a huge number of others have been injured. The unofficial number of the casualties is over 20, but they are saying it's between 15 and 20. So we'll get the actual details of that from the authorities shortly. The first, in case you don't know where it is located, is just south of Minneapolis and downtown itself. Now, the suspect reportedly armed, wearing all black clothing with a rifle, opened fire during the morning mass. Emergency services shortly after flooded the area as the police worked to secure the scenes. As we said, the incident, the attack itself happened just after 8 o'clock in the morning. It is currently, I believe, 10:20 a.m. local time in Minneapolis, and if I'm not, yes, it should be 10. And of course, this was it's just happened, obviously, and we, as I said, one of the main problems that we have. I'm just waiting for the live camera to come back on, by the way. Then we can actually go live on the ground to show you what's happening over there. But this is the second mass shooting that's happened in Minneapolis in 2 days. In actually less than 24 hours, if you think about it. Yesterday, 7 people were shot, number of people dead. This was at yet another Catholic high school. There seems to be a direct targeted attack on Catholic institutions right now, the Christian institutions in the state. And now, for those who are not familiar with this area, this is Tim Walz's state. He's the governor. He has posted saying that I have been briefed on a shooting at Annunciation Catholic School and will continue to provide updates as we get more information. The BCA and the State Patrol are on the scene. I'm praying for our kids and teachers whose first week of school was marred by this horrific act of violence. Now, in regards to, because I think there was some confusion at first for people who don't know the area, this is the church that also is the home to the school. That's why some people said church, some people said school. It's the same thing, basically. The point of it is that there are a number of children who have been shot, unfortunately, alongside the others, some adults as well. They did. So we have the live feed now. There we go. So these are the live footage that we now have for you guys from Minneapolis on the ground. We'll stay with this until we figure out what's going on in terms of the identity of the suspect. A big shout out to our team for preparing this. Of course, it's always important to have the live feed from the ground. Now, the reports that we initially received confirmed that the attacker had enough time for about 5 minutes to do what he wanted to do by entering the building and shooting around. And to be fair, considering that the confirmed number of those who have been killed so far is 10, and obviously many other injured, about 20. Firstly, the number could rise, unfortunately, because a lot of them, about 10 people, are in critical conditions right now in the hospital. The suspect himself has been confirmed dead. They are saying that apparently the suspect, the attacker, took his own life.
Jenna, I'm just confirming that you are not going to take our shot again. I'm not going to do a live shot until the presser.
Now, right, okay, fair enough. The Catholic school, obviously teaching the K-8 grade kids, was holding its Wednesday Mass. We have I think we can also go back to some of the videos that we received. This was directly across from the church building itself during the active shooter attack, with reports of children. A lot of them were evacuated on time, but a lot of them were stuck and became targeted.
Thank you. Is that yours?
So we still have the live footage. We can quickly show you some of the videos we received just after the attack itself. So this was when the emergency workers and the local police came to the scene. Shortly after this, we had the FBI also arriving. Got the sheriff department and go to the next one. And we have a local report on Fox 9, which we'll get to shortly as well. I think this is the moment the FBI agents arrived.
A shooting involving 7 victims earlier yesterday, another fatal last night around 8 o'clock. So it could be that a lot of this help is being called in just to
now that's the live footage now from outside the school building, actually. It's just across the road from the church itself. We have more reaction coming in from the authorities as well, which I'm going to show you shortly. We have someone, a reporter, on the ground covering the camera. That doesn't help. Let's quickly show you the local report that was, I think, by Fox 9. Let's go to that, and then we're going to give you guys a reaction from the president and the federal government.
We had, Amy, their schedule for the day that showed that they had an all-school mass starting at 8:15 this morning, and then it was around 8:40 to 8:45 that we got our first kind of initial information that police were being sent to this area, that something was going on in that area. So we do understand this is according to their online schedule, which we know is of course subject to change, especially at the beginning, what is likely the beginning of the school year for these students, that there is a chance there was an all-school mass happening at this time. And just because we are talking about a church and a school, that could be another reason that there's this large law enforcement presence, could be another reason that they're calling in the state troopers, the BCA, why we maybe saw that FBI investigator. Anything involving, of course, a school or a place of worship, especially where kids could be present, obviously very much elevates a lot of the concern here.
Yeah.
As we said, the FBI are now controlling the scene. There is some reaction that we have from the mayor, Jacob Frey, and also the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. First, let's go to the mayor of Minneapolis. He said that I am monitoring reports of horrific violence in South Minneapolis. I'm in touch with Chief Ahura, and our emergency response team has been activated. We will share more information as soon as we can. Please give our officers the space they need to respond to the situation. We also have this from Kristi Noem, saying that the DHS is monitoring the horrific shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis. We are in communication with our interagency partners, and we'll share more information as soon as it becomes available. I am praying for the victims of this heinous attack and their families. I believe we are also getting some more information from the others, but let's quickly go back to the live camera from the ground. Just trying to get some confirmation on the identity of the suspect who... Okay, so the Minneapolis hospital have now confirmed that they are treating 5 children who are in serious condition, injured from the shooting. So that's one report in terms of those who are alive, the children who are alive, but obviously injured. 3 have been confirmed dead or killed, and over 20 injured. Disgusting and sad morning. It's the beginning of the school term as well, so I think we have a statement coming in from the president. Vile. Let's quickly go to the city of Minneapolis. They have also released a short statement on this, saying that there is an active police situation at Annunciation Church. There is no active threat to the community at this time. The shooter is contained. Stay away from the area to allow emergency personnel to help victims. So that's, of course, the details of the location. We now have confirmation that the ATF has actually joined the law enforcement. The ATF agents are now responding to reports of an active shooter situation in Minneapolis. This is a post by them in St. Paul, of course, ATF St. Paul, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms Explosives. So we will get more information about these guys as well in terms of their support of the investigation that is now being led by the FBI on the ground. POTUS has also posted saying, I have been fully briefed on the tragic shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The FBI quickly responded and they are on the scene. The White House will continue to monitor this terrible situation. Please join me in praying for everyone involved. These are the words from the president. I think we also have something from Pam Bondi, which I will read out for you guys. What a mess. There is a... We have a footage from just after the attack itself. A woman is seen to have escaped and crying. Once that is ready, I will put it on for you guys in the next few seconds. Terrible. Okay. I think we can, yeah, let's quickly show you about that moment. Let's go. It's on the left. So took her away, and trying to see if she was one of the teachers or parents or who. If we go to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, she has also released a statement saying our federal agents are now on the scene of the horrific shooting at the Annunciation Church, Catholic Church in Minneapolis. My prayers are with everyone involved in this tragedy. Our team will provide updates as we receive them. So we will wait for the Attorney General as well to let us know. I'm trying to see if I believe Kash Patel has also updated the public. Yes, he did say that we are aware of the reports of the shooting. FBI agents are on the scene, and we ask everyone to keep potential victims, civilians or law enforcement in harm's way in your prayers. The FBI will provide updates as more information will become available. It's extremely important to mention one thing. Obviously we are focusing on this tragic attack this morning in Minnesota, but the focus is on what's happening in the US. But for those of you watching this channel right now from around the world, especially if you're watching this from Western European countries, including especially the United Kingdom, you see the difference between the current White House administration, and I mean all of them, from the Attorney General, the FBI and everybody, and even on the local ground, but in terms of just the way the United States
Jenna, can you hear
reacts and communicates with the public very quickly.
10 more minutes.
The journalist
They just pushed it back. 10 minutes.
Help. Okay, let's. Okay, it's
yes.
fine. Stop talking. The transparency with communication is extremely important. In countries like the UK, you get a vacuum, which of course creates space and room for speculation.
10:40 confirm. Yes.
This is the difference between the US and the current administration. They are reporting yet another active shooter, but I haven't really got any confirmation. So let's just, did someone say, here for the truth says, another active shooter reported. If you have any information on the location, please let us know. I'm trying to check with our team in the US. I think we have one of the eyewitnesses. We can go to one of the eyewitnesses shortly to see what he had to say about what happened. If you have more information about what's going on, let me know from other places, obviously. Stay with us. It's crazy. Hang on one second, guys. Let me just take you back to the live feed while we prepare this. Okay. Wow. Do we have it? Yeah. Okay. Let's quickly go to one of the eyewitnesses on the ground from the moment the attack happened and see what he had to say. Right.
I was on a call. All the windows of our home were open. I know what gunfire sounds like, and I could tell. I was shocked. I said, "There's no way that could be gunfire." There was so much of it. So it was sporadic. So it was a semi-automatic. It seemed like a rifle. It certainly didn't sound like a handgun. And so he must have reloaded, several times for sure.
Do you remember about how many gunshots?
I'll just say maybe 30 to 50 to, somewhere in that area.
Do you recall about how long
the fire went on?
Yeah.
For, I would say, several minutes. I mean, 3 minutes. Or,
it was about 3 to 4 minutes.
4, which is a long time for live gunfire. That's a long time. You can wrap off a lot of shots. So, there again, I'm just estimating,
So what was your name?
My name is Bill.
That is
okay,
just
so
horrific. And to think.
going back to our live camera on the ground. Yeah, it was about 3 to 4 minutes, close to 5 minutes. They said, obviously, the number of those who have been confirmed killed is still at 3, and of course, over 20 have been injured. 5 children in serious condition in the hospital being treated. The victims do include children and adults. Of course, this was during the church service, the mass in the morning, around just after 8 a.m. Now, while we are here, let's just get some reaction from those, especially in the US. We got Carter, thank you for your super chat, saying the suspects could be the left or some from a certain area on this planet which will remain nameless. And Anthony says, rest in peace to the victims. Of course, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families and obviously survivors as well. The sad reality is that this is the second attack in the same place, well, same area, same city, both within 24 hours and both attacking the Catholic institutions, Catholic schools. The other one was a high school. This is, of course, is the K-8 schools for kids, very, very young kids, 8th graders, basically. Not really sure what's going on with this. Considering that over the last few days we had a number of hoax nonsense where I think we had about 4 in a row, university campuses and colleges that had reported active shooters, but of course then they all turn out to be just fake. Everybody is basically on edge right now because they don't know what's going to be real, what's not going to be real, but you have to react quickly because you never know when an attack is an attack. So if I'm just waiting for more information about the suspect himself. I believe we do know it's a male. That's all, and he was wearing all black with a rifle. So we're just going to wait for some more description about the suspect and then more information about the victims. For now, let's just quickly get some reaction from the members of Tousi TV Plus, saying, sadly, I doubt the shooting, that shooting or all the other attacks against the non-Muslims will open people's eyes and more will suffer. We have a comment from Canada saying, heartbreaking, and our leaders embrace Islam and say that there are no attacks on Christianity. I am physically shook for these families. I mean, it is highly likely that what has happened over the last 24 hours, again, 2 attacks within 24 hours, that they both have been on Christian institutions. It does appear to be an anti-Christian attack. Now, of course, whether we're going to get any urgency from people like Tim Walz as governor or anybody on the ground in Minnesota, that's a whole different question. Of course, the US Democrats control this. Polk says, thoughts and prayers with the victims. Man's inhumanity to man never ends. Thanks for that. I think there's we can go back to the live feed in a second. Shauna says, I think something happened with the connection. Okay. Shauna says, don't forget you can always donate blood even if you are in another state, especially if you have a rare blood type. Prayers for the victims and family. Thank you very much, Shauna, for that information. Of course, yeah, if you're watching it from any state, you can help, of course, with these situations. Let's quickly take you back to Minneapolis, well, south of Minneapolis, essentially. The agents are still active. Do we have any more information about the victims? What a sad morning, right? So we now have received a footage, ladies and gentlemen, from the survivors, the children who managed to escape when this attack happened, and they have been reunited with their families. Let's quickly go and watch that moment. This is from a few minutes ago.
it as a tremendous amount of gunfire. And it's just chilling to think about, so much so that they didn't even believe it was gunfire, as we continue to look at families being reunited about a half a block away here as they remove themselves from the scene and leave campus to be reunited with families. There's a staging area nearby where friends and family are gathering, but most of these families just really taking their children and just...
Yeah. Now, let's I think we have one of the senators, of course, the senior senator in the area, Klobuchar, saying, "I am heartbroken by the horrific violence at the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis this morning. My prayers are with the students, teachers and families, and I'm grateful for the first responders who are on the scene." So now they say of those who have been injured, at least 15 are children who are officially hospitalized. So obviously, one report we did get from the Minneapolis hospital themselves was 5 of them being treated, but now at least 15 who are being treated, obviously, are children. Okay, we got the sound back as well. As you can see, more of the survivors on the ground.
Charge it or no? Sean bringing me one and Rod's bringing me one, but I don't know if they can get to me. Rod bringing me one? Rod.
10 people are now in critical condition out of the 20.
But then on the other side, they have to cover the pressure.
So the phone call to the emergency was around 8:27 a.m. and the paramedics and the police managed to get there within 3 minutes at 8:30 a.m., which is pretty quick. There are some rumors about where the suspect is from. Of course, we haven't been able to verify this. There's a lot of nonsense on social media, so we're going to ignore those until we have some credible confirmation, or even if it's a rumor, credible rumor, rather than people saying random things and people randomly reporting it. That's just outside the main entrance of the school, as you can see. Kathy says, what's the nationality of the shooter? We're just waiting for the actual verified confirmation in terms of the identity of the shooter. We won't go with the rumors yet. Jan says, love your show. Thank you very much for the support. Of course, we'll continue to be here to make sure you are fully informed. So considering, as you can see, the survivors and families and kids are now just standing, as one of the priests, just outside the main entrance. The area has been secured, but there is no threat going forward. Obviously, the shooter is now dead. Reportedly, it took his own life, so that's why they're able to just stand outside the main entrance. Otherwise, they would just take him away from the back or somewhere else. Evil. Okay, so I think there is some more reaction. So now we have over, well, at least 17 children have now been confirmed, unfortunately, have been hospitalized. That is insane. So that, again, that's not That's on combined. It's not combined with everybody else. So you have also adults apparently. So it's over 20. Witnesses do report that the gunman did use a semi-automatic gun, but also pepper spray during the attack. Pepper spray. Okay, so pepper spray. Okay.
That was on the scanner.
But that's coming from the witnesses, not confirmed by the authorities.
Well, he's dead, so I feel like they can tell us a lot.
You can hear the journalists nearby. They're also waiting for the identity to be confirmed. He's been dead for over an hour now. They could, on the ground, they could tell us about the identity at this point. Crazy. We're also going to be waiting for the confirmation of the press conference that is going to be arranged shortly. Okay, so I think the press conference is getting ready, guys. Sooner than I thought, perhaps. Hang on. Trying to see if we have the time for this. It's one of those things that they're basically just going to give us about 5-10 minutes heads up in advance. So if we have to go live later on, it will be done very quickly. We might not be able to give you heads up in advance. You might have about 5 minutes. So make sure to click on the notification bell next to subscribe and click on all, not personalized. That's the best way to stay up to date. I think some more information is coming about the shooter. Yeah, they've just all they've confirmed is that he took his own life. They are still not telling us about the identity. Taking their time, the local enforcement. Obviously, the investigation is still ongoing. But as one of the journalists said on the ground just now, behind the camera, he's dead now, so he could probably tell us. This was the first day of the grade school, by the way. They were just having their morning mass. So many children. To be able to target kids, it's not even just, you're not just talking about targeting just civilians. That's still disgusting, but targeting any human being is disgusting. But children, defenseless kids, and considering, as I said, that there are so many questions that have now been raised and must be answered after the investigation on the ground, considering that within 24 hours we've had a number of attacks on Catholic institutions. It's extremely worrying for the Christians in the state, in Minnesota. Also, I'm trying to see actually if whether Tim Walz did say much yesterday, or what he said yesterday. He didn't. Wow. It's crazy. No urgency from the governor of the state. So I'm just trying to get more info about the press conference now. No. God. Let's get some reaction from you guys while we wait for that. Shona says might be delaying the identity because they are afraid of retaliation attacks. Well, it depends on who and the motive. This seems to be definitely targeted because obviously Christian institutions. Someone, MP says, my daughter sits in a Catholic school at this moment, makes my heart sick. The schools are locked down, but churches are not, and they know that. Yeah, I think the Vice President has now spoken out as well. If we could quickly bring out what J.D. Vance has said. I'm assuming it's going to be similar to the President's statement. Okay, so the Vice President said just now, we are at the White House monitoring the situation in Minneapolis. Join all of us in praying for the victims. So of course the federal government are now on top of this as the FBI agents have taken control of the investigation. Someone said if it was a white person, they would have announced it immediately. That's mostly a problem with two-tier reporting when it comes to the UK. There could be a number of other reasons why the announcement of the identity has been delayed for some reason. As I say, considering that he's been now dead for, what is it? It's probably almost 2 hours now. At least an hour and a half. I don't know what they found or haven't found. To be fair, what's been happening on the ground this morning in Minneapolis, the official reports on everything that happened so far has been relatively slow on a local level. On a national level, on a federal level, from Washington D.C., they've been pretty quick in terms of communicating with the public. But in terms of the official updates and confirmations on the ground over the last 2 hours, probably, for whatever reason, because obviously there's a whole process anyway, the local law enforcement communicating to the press and us, they have been relatively slower compared to other situations. Henry says, Tousi, why were there not security guards at the school? I'm not familiar with this school and the church, obviously. If anybody lives in the area and is watching, or anybody you know anybody, let us know. We will get more information about the structure of that. Minneapolis and even outside the southern parts, which is this place, is extremely diverse, and we have had troubles in the past. But the sad reality is that the Democrats' leadership have not really helped with anything. Okay, so if we go to you guys, we have Philip saying Democrats lie even when they don't need to. Yeah. The left media in the US does the same type of two-tier reporting as well. Yeah, I mean, we've had with CNN during a recent live coverage that we had on this channel. I can't remember where it was. Was it New York? Where CNN, yeah, it was New York, where CNN immediately, randomly, despite the fact that we already had a photo of the attacker that went into that building and went to the wrong office, we could see he was black, and CNN said the shooter is white. Like, I don't know what you're looking at. So it's it's happened many times with the liberal media. Okay, so Jan says, has Ilhan Omar spoken? Yeah, that's actually a very good question. Probably not. Although she does jump on a bandwagon every now and then to just say my thoughts and prayers. She has. And she has posted only a few minutes ago, and shortly after posting it, she's reposted her own post. Not really sure I get the logic here, but it's Ilhan Omar. Let's quickly show you. It wasn't even that long ago when she posted this. Usually you repost after half a day or a day. She said, I am beyond heartbroken over the tragic news. Oh, we have the, there we go, press conference. Bring up the volume. Stay with me.
There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation. We are a Minneapolis family.
Stay with me.
But to everybody out there, do not think of these as just somebody else's kids. Those families are suffering
immense pain right now. Think of this as if it were your own. Around these families, giving them every ounce that we can muster.
Sorry, guys.
The families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country. I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now. My ask is to everyone, stand by them. Love them. These families have forever been changed, and we've all been changed with them. We need to do everything possible to support them through this time. We have a family resource center that has been set up. I'm grateful for all of the law enforcement agencies from a number of different jurisdictions, all the different departmental support that we've received. They're going to be working tirelessly. There's also a family resource center that is
Minneapolis
being set up as we speak to make sure that we're there for everybody. Again, to the families that are suffering, to those that have experienced loss, I'm so deeply sorry. We're going to be with you every step of the way. We love you. This kind of act of evil should never happen, and it happens far too often. The chief will provide additional details.
That's Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, just spoke.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis police chief. Earlier today, just before 8:30 a.m., our city experienced an unthinkable tragedy. Minneapolis police officers responded to a report of a shooting at a mass that was happening at the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church on the block behind me. This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School. During the mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass. Shooting through the windows, he struck children and worshipers that were inside the building. The shooter was armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible. Police officers from the Minneapolis Police Department immediately responded, entered the church, and attempted to provide first aid and rescue some of the children that were hiding throughout the building, while other first responders came and EMS responded to rush victims to nearby hospitals. 2 young children, ages 8 and 10, were killed where they sat in the pews. Their parents have been notified. 17 other people were injured, 14 of them being children. 2 of those children are in critical condition. The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
Why?
Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack. We will stand together to protect our children, our schools, and our houses of worship. This deliberate act of violence is just a sign of cruelty that is beyond comprehension. Our hearts are broken for everyone that's been affected by this tragedy.
Does he need a written statement?
As we begin the difficult path of healing, I want the community to know this, that even in the face of such evil, the Minneapolis Police Department and all of our law enforcement partners stand with our community. We stand with these families and with this parish. We will continue to be here for you. With that, the investigation is obviously in its preliminary stages, and I will attempt to take some questions to provide further information.
Chief, what can you tell us about the suspect in this case? How old was he? Any kind of motivation? Any notes or any other information that he left behind?
So we were looking, the question was, what can be said about the shooter? We believe it is one suspect, a sole shooter. We believe he is deceased. He is in his early 20s, does not have an extensive known criminal history, and we are looking through information left behind to try and determine some type of motive. Yeah.
Is that it? What?
How many children? There were, I don't have an exact, the question was how many children at the school. There were dozens of children inside the Mass at the time. I don't have an exact count. The children have been relocated into the school, which is where their families are reunifying with them. Reg.
Other than the weapons, was the shooter a student, former student? Was he a former employee? Do we know that?
The question was, do we know if the shooter was a former school employee or a former student? We don't have that information.
Give the name. You have the name.
There's a vehicle. The question was anything left behind? There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we will be conducting other searches related to this. Inside the parking lot here. Yep.
There was some neighbors who said that the door to the church had been barricaded.
Yep. So the question was, neighbors had said that the door to the church had been barricaded. The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least 2 doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed. So not all of the doors around the building, but on the side where the shooter did fire.
And on the outside?
On the outside, yes.
You need more info.
The question was there any explosives? There were reports of that. There were no explosives or improvised devices that we found. I do believe there was one, I guess you would call it a smoke bomb, like not an explosive, but a sort of a firework that would release smoke.
And which side of the building? North,
The side that is closest to us, here, on this side, yep. I don't have specific information on that I can release. The question was, is he dead from a gunshot wound? The answer is yes. We believe he took his own life in the parking lot.
We believe.
The question was he shooting outside and inside? He was absolutely shooting outside of the building on the side of the church, inside through the windows. It appears he may have gone inside, but I don't believe we've located any casings inside the building. So I'm not certain if he fired also while inside. It appears, if not all, most of the shooting happened outside the building. So, yeah, Taylor's asking, is this related to any of the other shootings? This does not appear to be related to any other shooting in the city. The question was how many rounds? I would say it's in the dozens. We don't have an exact count. There's a sidewalk on the outside as well as a grassy area. So obviously we are going through and taking our time to process the scene.
They're not asking the right questions.
The question was he firing one weapon? We believe he had fired all three. He had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol.
Chief, was this individual licensed to conceal and carry? Did he have any?
Were the weapons, was he lawfully carrying the weapons? I don't have that information. And I don't have any information on any significant criminal history either.
Was he dressed at all in any tactical type of gear or anything?
It appeared he had some black clothing on, his cargo-type pants. I guess you could interpret that as, however you like.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for helping us to get the information out today. We have
You can't interpret.
that needs to be done.
He got stopped.
We will return back later today to provide more details as they become
He stopped the questions.
We'll let you know how you can know about that in a moment.
He just stopped the questions.
How can the public help?
The guy's like, no more questions? Yeah, no more questions. They can't trust you right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's what we have.
Once again, folks, if you have further inquiries you want to send via email.
So he is in his early 20s, and they know he has no credible criminal background, but they're not telling us his description or name. What? Oh, that guy was angry.
Hey folks, one other quick thing. If you want to be absolutely sure to be notified of the next press avail, please send an email again to communications@minneapolismn.gov just to make sure, triple sure you're on all the lists, okay? Thank you.
Wow. Okay. There was some useful information here, a little bit. Not fully. The sudden end. Because Robert says that sudden stop of asking questions makes me very suspicious now. It seemed very unnecessary.
Here's what's happening in your neck of the hood.
Very weird. Oh well. Okay. There's more reaction from you guys as well. Ivan says,
after they left the chapel, this is a prayer for these kids and families. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. If people want to pray for these survivors, play them that song.
okay. Ivan says, word salad and no facts from the mayor or the cops. The mayor, Fry, don't bother with him. He's an actor. He can fake his emotions. Lack of details signals either trans or Somali. Well, there's a huge Somali community, obviously. But we don't know. We don't have the confirmation. You can only speculate in the live chat, of course. I can't verify anything yet, but I don't understand why they can't give basic information. Like, okay, let's just say You haven't been able to find any ID on him, and facial recognition, I don't know, you can't find him on the system, fine. You can't get us the name, but you can give us more description. That would help. Instead of ending the press conference abruptly, crazy times to be alive. All right. Either the camera's shaking too much or there's an earthquake. What's going on? Stop it. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Do we have any more updates from the federal government? Because they are monitoring the situation. We're not getting any more information from the local authorities, so that's not really good. He did use all three weapons: rifle, shotgun, and a pistol. The children were aged 8 and 10, those who have been killed, unfortunately. No information. Okay. Hopefully they'll give us something shortly. Yeah, try not to just believe what you might see on social media, because it hasn't been verified. But again, they are doing what I feared on the ground. While the federal government are doing great with communication with the public, the state level, they are creating a vacuum. Okay, that's falling apart. Now, do we have any more reaction from the members quickly? Yes, okay. We will hear rhetoric about anti-guns, but they will not recognize that murder is illegal and evil people will do evil things. I agree. Thoughts and prayers are with the families and the community. Thank you. And my heart goes out to all involved, and we can thank Trump and Tommy for waking up the world. The fight back is on. Another comment says, took his own life, a coward at heart. Falk says that this police chief is very evasive. And then eventually they told him to stop talking anyway. It seems like children are being targeted for violence all over the place, which cuts deeper for normal people. Maybe a deliberate attempt to shock and horrify people as much as possible. Well, children, but also, again, Christians, because this is not the first attack on Christian institutions in the last day or so. Alicia says, two-tier policing in Minneapolis, clearly it's a plague. The mayor was demonstrating how to stop the riots with their bubble machines during COVID. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jacob Fry is an interesting creature in Minneapolis. And Sue says, you know damn well they have his name. Of course they have his name. They'll scrub his internet presence, and we don't need to protect info because of trial. It's BS damage control. It is damage control. It's either, again, just like it's happened in a number of other states that's been controlled by the US Democrats, where they know that the suspect can now be linked to complacency from the establishment. That, you know, they knew something, they could have stopped it, they could prevent it. It's embarrassing, and they try to basically do damage control, which makes things worse. If they can't, then usually they tend to blame President Trump for some reason. This is what happens when diversity is pushed down the throats of the West. We all know what type of person is going to do this, and it's not atheists or Christians. Our country's gone to S. Another comment says, black, white, yellow, brown, effing purple. Children are children. People like this are just... Yep. Sorry about... Yep. Okay, that's... Of course, emotions are high right now. Anyway, we will get more information. Of course, we will come back on the Tousi TV with more live coverage, especially when we have more details about the victims, but also the suspect, the shooter himself. Subscribe to Tousi TV, your global news channel, if you haven't already. I'm Maya Tousi, and we are the media.